B, but that's just also two incredibly powerful picks. Evelyn without Rek'Sai is a very good jungler right now, and then you throw Alistar in there. If you're ever able to combo that Kalista in the bottom lane, blow it up straight away, it's going to be fantastic things coming through.
Well, Dade has already got Smite, and they're hovering the Ezreal here. 3 seconds to go. M3 thinking about trying their hands at the old mid Ezreal as
Kalista mid, you know, mind game further.
Oh my goodness, some OMG tactics coming onto the Rift this time for M3. But no, it looks like it will be the Ezreal in the mid lane there. Triple smite from M3 and a rend. I don't think that you'll be able to take a neutral objective from these guys.
Yeah, they certainly do have really good control over neutrals and see whether they get the dragons rolling early. Really interesting to note that you play two types of poke. You play the poke where it's really hard to siege because if the other team to siege, because if they ever walk towards you and funnel themselves into wow, let's start again. If they try and siege you and funnel in to take your towers, then you're able to poke them down very easily and get flanks off with a Shyvana that can come through. Or you play all-out poke where you shove waves up and you poke with the Ezreal. This one is definitely the first. Lupa in the top lane going to be looking for these huge flanking plays coming through on Shyvana when they funnel through and try and siege down it. All Dade has to do is land a couple of the Qs through from Ezreal, and it's going to be a very easy team fight.
Yeah, and I really like the Shyvana pickup here as well, because Shen, not known for his ability to clear a wave, you can just burn out, run through the minion wave, dance a little bit, and then run away and take Groms, take Krugs, take whatever you want.
And Shen is a dangerous pickup as we go through the lineups there. You see the Ezreal versus the Victor, Dade versus Godby, because Lupa was the person that originally shut down Shen in Season 2. He did it with Singed. Yeah. Shyvana's kind of AD Singed. You don't chase the dragon either.
No, you certainly don't, especially not when she is a dragon and able to get that burnout following her around. Love City, you can see they're up against QIAO, sort of disengage and engage in both of these champions, so both of them very versatile there on the bottom side of the map, but we'll see how things go. Alistar Vayne, sort of an old one.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's about setting people up near walls and getting the combo through, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we certainly shall as we hop onto the Rift.
Is it?
And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, onto the Rift for M3 versus LGD. This is, of course, game one of our third match of the evening. Some cheers from the audience here as well as Lupa heads towards the top side of the map. And both teams pretty happy with just a 5-point defensive start.
Yeah, you would have to think that right now M3 are at the team that will dictate whether they want the 1v1 or the 2v2, because they've got Shyvana, who jungles incredibly well by herself. With the Doran's Blade, you can easily take 3 camps with Smite. Make sure that you're around there, but looks like they have snuck the Kalista into the top lane to maybe try and avoid Imp and PYL.
Well, everyone seems to just be migrating around this Rift at the moment. You can see PYL down there towards the bottom side, but Imp is moving himself up towards the top lane. Akon there as well. Might have just been faking out for a moment. And now SMLZ making his way back to lane as well. So mind games all over the place.
And lane is just in the middle of the map. They're not committing to either side. Now finally LGD do commit towards the top side. There is a good ward up there in the middle of the lane that will spot them if they try and sneak into the brush, but they just might take a Krug.
Yeah, looks like it. Of course, Kalista able to use that W passive in order to get a whole lot of extra damage down if you've got a friend there that you've paired up with. Of course, it will be on the Grom on this side of the map. Imp and PYL looking to take down their Krugs as well, like you were talking about. So it looks like standard lanes, just a little bit reversed.
Yeah. Good leash going to come through from Konji here. See if he can get himself through the jungle nice and healthy. And Akon going to leash for Xiaoxi, who starts on a buff.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of this Evelyn starting on a buff. Is that something that you'd normally do as an Evelyn as you start the jungle?
Well, you kite around a lot of Evelyn, so if you can't take the Krugs, you generally start on a buff on the red side, just because it doesn't give you as much. Of course, you also want to get your top laner into lane as soon as possible. But yeah, so I start on a buff. If I'm red side, I start on blue buff. If I'm blue side, I start on Krugs, because if you start E, you just get the stun so often coming through there, you lose basically no health.
Well, Dade versus Godby here in the mid lane. You can see Dade trying to get some poke down with that Essence Flux, able to get it over the top of the minions, which is definitely very handy. Loop has made his way towards this lane a little bit sooner than Acorn, but Acorn just going to collect it as it heads towards him. We'll see whether this Shyvana will get out of control, as we know Loop's Shyvana can do.
Yeah, he, in recent memory, had a game against Vayne as well, where he was able to completely shut the Vayne down, but Dade played Twisted Fate to light up the map, of course.
Yeah.
Vayne was the last pick, so wasn't able to get that one through here, but Dade doing a good job of shoving up the wave with Q so far, trying to pressure Godby as much as possible.
Yeah, and is this something understandable this early stage of the game? Of course, Victor not with that upgraded hex core just yet.
Ezreal can't trade against mid laners, so you 100% just want to throw Qs at the minion wave and try and shove it. Try and get them to CS instead of smacking you in the face.
Well, we'll see how it works as Condi's. Xiaoxi, sorry, is going to make his way down here. Dade's going to get caught out, uses the flash and the E. Get himself under the turret. So successful gank already by this E very early on.
Yeah, and I think I talked about it in Champions Select. Dade has this habit of pushing up really early in the lane, trying to zone CS as much as possible and pressure other laners, and then he gets ganked. And, you know, today, no difference. Level 3 was trying to shove up and got ganked and had to burn the Summoner spell.
Yep, so at least we know that it's still Dade.
Yep.
Most definitely confirmed. Is Dade in the mid lane. Godby just going to shove this one out, 25 to 13 CS now, but as Dade makes his way back towards the lane, he might be able to even that out just a little bit. Currently 200 gold in the lead for LGD, but nothing interesting just yet as far as how this game's going, and you can see the top side of the map, it is Imp getting bullied out just a bit, but that is just what happens when it's a Kalista in a lane with a Thresh.
Yeah, exactly right. Kalista Thresh, such a brutal lane. Very good at going forward and backwards. We love to talk about the Leapfrog defensively, but the Soul Linked with the empowered play auto attack is just way too much for a Vayne to handle. So wouldn't be surprised if PYL chucked a few extra points into that Triumphant Roar, try and keep him healthy. As Love CD takes issue with the range creep.
Yeah, certainly did.
Smacks him down a bit.
Now that range creep is going to think twice before attacking Love City from now on. Guarantee it. But you can see already M3 with a lot of control there towards the top side. That being said, Imp is going to be able to pick up a whole bunch of farm as it crashes towards this turret. And it should be fine. That being said as well.
They're trying to go for a dive here.
Yeah, they're looking for something.
Alistair really hard to dive at all points of the game. 2 forms of CC. Couple it with the Vayne just means that anti-dive potential is huge. So maybe fishing for a counter gank. Not going to find anything.
No, not just yet. You can see they do have a cheeky ward towards the top side there, so if Condi does try to stink into the brush, he is going to be spotted out.
Godby drags the wave over here, denies a lot of farm. Trying to anyway. Range of Dade, keeping him quiet in this lane.
Yeah, of course, Mystic Shot is going to be very, very helpful here. Does miss that one, but that's an auto attack. You know, it's a little bit more difficult to grab those last hits with as Dade just continues putting the pressure down. He's only 4 CS behind now.
His side of the lane as well with 3 range minions up, so it should start shoving back unless Godby's able to grab the wave and drag it again. Another gank coming through into the top lane. Xiaoxi busy early game on Evelyn.
Yeah, trying to get work done here. There's the Pulverize up the headbutt here for PYL. Love City forced to use the flash already. Flays Xiaoxi out of here, but Imp's flashing forward now as well. Love City falls down. Imp grabs first blood as SMLZ's trying to get some damage back. But LGD, they've struck first. Yeah, so PYL headbutted a minion, then pulverized to extend the range just a little bit. Able to get the surprise combo through onto Love CD. He falls down. We mentioned the fact that he and Condi are kind of the, and Lupus are the 2 members that need to step up right now, and he falls down first blood. Fantastic gank pass coming through from Xiaoxi early. Yeah, really, really smart play. Old True Shot Barrage just to try and clear out this minion wave as Dade isn't able to kill those range creeps, but it's going to mean that SMLZ is going to find his way back underneath this turret and pick up some experience and farm. Yeah, so able to pick up majority. Dade doing a great thing in trying to help his side waves out. This is the thing about mid Ezreal. Very rarely wins the lane itself before he's able to pick up a couple of items, but he can win side lanes so easily as Acorn's being caught. Yeah, Shadow Dash is there, but Condi's going to close the distance with the E. Parallel Convergence comes down. Acorn, is he going to get stunned? No, he's not this time. Still waiting for that cooldown. Does have the flash. He's going to burn it here as Looper just dragon descents his way over the wall. That's for a cheeky love tap, which he cancels and then moves out. Yeah, missed the edge of it. Wanted the CC for a little bit of slow, try and get Condi back in there. That was a sloppily placed parallel convergence.
should have probably tried to corral him a little bit more towards the lane, just because there's no option to flash that way. You'd have to flash just to create distance, as opposed to getting over the terrain, maybe guarantee a stun a little bit more, but in the end, Acorn able to navigate the gank and get away safely.
Yeah, he's done fine. He's only down a couple of CS as well as he's built up a few of those Ruby Crystals. Wouldn't be surprised if he built something like the Spirit Visage early on, because Shyvana, despite building a bit of AD, generally does a lot of magic damage.
And hasn't even built AD. Gone for that Balmy Cinder, so does majority magic damage, you would have to say, coming through there. With the burnout as well as the E, which I'm sure you'll know because you play more Shyvana than me.
The Flame Breath.
There we go.
It's a very difficult name to remember, Spawn.
Well, it is, because, you know, she punches it out. How is that a breath at all?
Look, I wasn't kidding. No, she makes a little dragon face with her arm.
Does she?
Yeah, it's really cute.
TIL.
Yeah, there we are. So now you've got Bristle and you've got that. We're all good.
Of course, I'm terrible with League of Legends trivia, guys. That's what he's talking about right now.
And Dade, not too bad at farming underneath this turret as well as he preps all of his range creeps. Godvid is going to steal all of the mini raptors.
And you can see, even with a kill here, him still playing a little bit back out of lane, has been able to get the luxury of shoving up very nicely. Ultimate clips Godby, but went through some minions first. So even though they're able to shove up, they're using their early advantage that they got through that kill to just guarantee farm onto Vayne, as opposed to like any other lane, like maybe Corki, you go back, pick up your early Sheen and start trying to bully the lane. It just means that Imp can farm a little bit more effectively.
Yeah, so not necessarily looking for lane control just yet, just safety.
Well, you just can't against Thresh Kalista. It's such a dominant lane. You can see even with the kill, they're just playing so far back. Once again, calling their jungler up, making sure they're playing the team game.
Yeah, is there going to be a point where Vayne is going to be able to take over? But
if Thresh isn't there. So
as long as they're not in this lane, it'll be fine.
So if you catch them at 1v1, even in the lane as a 1v1, Kalista just doesn't have the same amount of tools. It's the combo that comes together. There's like 5 forms of CC and all the damage that can come through that really affects Vayne. If she ever catches Kalista by her own, though, she'll tear her apart.
I love City doing a great job zoning LGD out here. Of course, LGD trying to keep the fact that there's an Evelyn waiting in the wings as a bit of a secret.
Yeah, Sightstone first, Xiaoxi here, making sure that not only using the Walking Ward, but everything else.
Oh, QIAO just wanders towards Love City. No Pulverize to come down just yet. Hasn't pulled the trigger.
That was a great mind game, actually, there from PYL. There's a lot of minions, so they probably don't want to start the fight. Of course, I'd rather have the 8 ranged minions than a jungler most of the time in that gank, but did make it so it appeared no one else was there, and now Xiaoxi looping around.
Yeah, it is going to be counter
Condi also there.
Oh, yeah, and here's the Stand United at the same time. Teleport comes down. SMLZ takes out his support player there as Akon's going to try and make his way through at the same time. Imps popped the final hour, doing a lot of damage. Lupa holding onto the dragon, now gets himself back in again, but Shen's already dead. PYL headbutts them to safety, and LGD.
Godby's here.
Yeah, things not necessarily working out so well. Oh, in fact, Godby's just moving towards the creeps. Dade making his way up as well.
Wow.
Essence Spots almost takes down PYL. Love City. There's the death sentence. Dade grabs it with a mystic shot. And M3 asserting their dominance in the top side.
And you can tell that Looper is so comfortable on zoning champions because he ran at Imp, zoned Imp away from everything as a great true shot barrage nearly takes out Xiaoxi, and then Dragon descented away from the team when he felt like he was going to die. Just created this big zone around all of the LGD members that they could not get towards the carries. SMLZ and Condi just did so much damage to the front line, and then Looper just walks away.
Yeah, he's absolutely fine. Able to leave a lot of burnout damage there on the ground as well. As, of course, Dragon Descent is going to leave that trail, so lots of extra damage at the same time.
Yeah, and a couple of assists now picked up for Looper. He already had that CS advantage coming into that skirmish. Goes back, picks up his jungle item. He's well and truly going now in this lane, and Shen going to struggle to keep up just with the push. This is what we keep talking about. Shyvana is so obnoxious in the fact that she can shove out the wave, run past your turret, another fight.
Yeah, Condi actually getting knocked up here as well. There's the death ray. Oh, Godby does so much damage with that combo as POL trying to continue the fight. No mana on Dade as Love City's going to come round, but Xiaoxi's here. No dive to come through for LGD.
Yeah, so it looked like just over-optimistic, trying to control the Dragon area. Looper had actually taken the bottom turret as well during that skirmish, so even bigger credit to the M3 top laner right now needs to be given. But Condi does get caught out and made to pay.
Yep, 3 jungle items already completed now as well for M3.
2 of which are AoE smites. That is so much control.
Yep, there's a lot of jungle taking ability by this M3 squad as Lupa is definitely going to be able to clear everything out. You can see moving through his own jungle at the moment, probably wants to take residence in LGD's side of the map further on in this game.
And 2 turrets already to 0 at only 13 minutes in a non-lane swap game. This has been standard lanes the entirety of it. A lot of credit needs to be given right now to the laning phase M3 has had, because as we said, these aren't a laning phase team. They're generally known for their team fight ability and all the zones that Lupa creates and how Dade is able to impact team fights. But right now, they've just straight up beat LGD in lane. Yeah,
and Dade as well made it to his Trailblazer very easily at the same time. Of course, that Runeglaive very necessary to make sure that you're as relevant as possible. And M3 with 3 smites, probably going to be able to take down this dragon. Yep, 1's down. 2. Well, they've got a rend at the same time. It's like so many options in order to take this one. So first dragon going down at 13.5 minutes. In favor of M3. A little bit late as far as dragons in the LPL are concerned, but
no lane swap. Duo on the top side of the map. Makes a lot of sense that we see a little bit of a later dragon coming through here, but so far 3 objectives have gone down and all 3 of them are on the side of M3.
Yeah, M3 objectives. Not bad at all. We'll see whether they can make it M4. True Shot Barrage does come up the mid lane.
I'm not audibly disappointed a lot of the time, but that wasn't good.
No need to talk about it then. As the play does come back, QIAO does manage to get in there. Fate's call comes through. LGD, they don't want to stop. Oh, the flash not going to find the taunt here from Acorn, but there's the condemn into the wall. SMLZ is going to get silver bolted to death. Love City follows suit as QIAO happily tanking up the turret. LGD making it look easy.
Fantastic gank coming through there from Acorn, the top laner. Imp really rode that power and able to pick up another 2 kills. You know, we keep talking about all the good that M3 has done, but when you take stock of the situation, they're only 300 gold up and there's so much standing gold on the map. LGD going to knock down the first turret.
Yeah, and even out that gold almost completely as well. Imp trying to kill as many creeps as he can. But this wave is going to be freezable for M3 if they want to. We'll see whether SMLZ wants to hang around there and pick up slowly all of that farm, keeping himself safe in that lane.
Yeah, and you see that even though they gave up a little bit of control, they're able to use the Shen ultimate there, and Lupa wasn't in a position to push the turret. Did his best. He took a red buff for himself, which is going to really annoy Acorn now.
Yeah, Acorn was actually coming over there as well. I think wanting to throw a Vorpal Blade at that Krug. Really going to help out here. QIAO's going to catch Lupa. Does still have the Dragon's Descent. Gets into the Baron Pit. He's going to be fine for now. No flashes to follow.
But this is really smart coming through from LGD. Once again, they're playing the map. You know, you said they can freeze the bottom wave here on M3 side, try and deny Imp some farm. What do? They send all their members top, force Lupa out of that lane, create a farming zone for themselves, which is the top side of the map. And now they can rotate into mid lane and try and knock down another turret.
Yeah, very even on the gold as well. So LGD more than happy to just funnel as much farm onto Imp here. You can see Godby has just let him take control of that lane. He's just going to collect the farm as it moves towards the inner turret on the bottom side.
And SMLZ in a lot of trouble again. He is so overextended for farm. Does have reinforcements coming through, but you could see Shashi, he smelt blood, wanted to get in there.
Yeah, was looking for it. Pink ward down now though, so not going to be able to get in there unseen as the Evelyn towards that bottom side.
And Athene's coming through here for Godby.
Yeah, interesting.
He stayed true to Athene's. A lot of the spring split as well, you have to remember, but not going for the cheaper route in the Morellonomicon. Of course, a lot more kill potential comes out of that build. Goes for the endured team fighting sustain path of the Athenes.
Yeah, and it's gone for very early cooldown reduction as well. Wants to be cycling through his spells as much as possible this game from as early as possible.
I think it was cool that showed us a Death Cat build with a perfect Hex Core as the first item.
Yeah,
but there's just so many builds right now floating around for Victor because he's so good at multiple things on the map. Do you need wave clear? Okay, let's go for a CDR build. Make sure that he's not good against champions, but fantastic at chunking out waves. do we think we're going to be denied blue buff because there's 3 smites and a rend on the other team? Sure, let's pick ourselves up on Athenes and make sure that we're comfortable in that situation, as Imp and PYL now coming once again for Looper.
Yeah, they're looking for the Dragon Lady. Dragon's Descent is available here. Blade the Ruined King has been popped. There's the Condemn, but it was after, before the Dragon's Descent, as Looper's doing a lot of damage. Imp is going to be able to lock down that kill in the end. Not much of a way for that Dragon to get out, as Essence Flux doesn't find Godby either. There's the transfer power. Lots of damage from the Victor, but Dade, of course, the slippery Ezreal will make it to safety.
And Dade also was elected for an Athenes as his second item.
Yeah, I was going to talk about that.
Generally, when you see Runeglaive Ezreal, he gets a lot of mana back just from queuing random minions and things like that, the 8% missing, so doesn't really need the 3rd time's a charm.
Yeah,
everything's happening in M3s today, as you would say. But
oh my goodness.
yeah, so don't really need a mana regen item. You can grab the boots if you want any more CDR, but Dade elects to go for it all.
You sounded way too proud of yourself. Acorn down here towards the bottom side.
Like
Parallel. Yeah, you certainly are. Parallel Convergence does go down. Death Sentence not going to find Acorn, but they are going to lose the turret here as SMLZ was freely pounding on it. Imp's going to take the outer on the top side of the map. Connie going to steal away a Gromp. Does mean LGD still with a slight advantage, but Fem3 can just walk in and take objectives like that. It's not looking good for LGD.
Yeah, so this game's really broken down. And Imp, you can see, is accelerated so far because of all the early gold he's been able to pick up through those kills. But right now, it's just the pressure that M3 can put on neutral objectives like Dragon, like Blue Buff, as we keep mentioning because of all the smites and the champion pickups, just creates this area that LGD aren't comfortable to go. So they're setting up really smart, making sure that they've always got the numbers in advantage and picking up stray kills, because endgame is their goal right now. They've got the Shen for the split push pressure. They've got Victor. They've got Vayne as well. So they just need to continue to weather the storm, bide their time, and they'll be fine as the game goes on. But Ezreal is also kind of a time bomb champion.
Yeah, well, I was looking over the side of M3 at the same time, and look, Looper's probably not going to struggle too much in that sort of split push scenario that up against Acorn.
So one thing that I will say about Shyvana is that she gets to 6 items so early.
Yeah.
So you have this power spike at about the 33-minute mark as we have a team fight.
Yeah, fight breaking out here as Imp's going to be able to take down Dade very, very quickly. There's the chrono break, but Love City in no man's land. He's going to fall. 2 easy kills for LGD. And Imp, you can see him on your screen right there, not smiling right now, just very much in the moment.
And, you know, we spoke about the discrepancy on the map. It is the AD carries, and Imp definitely getting the better of this matchup so far. SMLZ relegated to watching that fight. I mean, he threw Love CD in, but that was to his death, and Imp's going berserk, 5-0-1 now.
Yeah, and every neutral objective for LGD means a whole lot more this game at the same time. They do manage to take down their first Dragon as this is going to be the replay.
Yeah, let's take another look at it. Love CD lines up the hook, grabs Imp, and they think that they've got the fight to start, but he's able to get out of the stun range, and then Dade overcommits because there's a heal, there's a huge shield to come out of Shen. He gets blown up, and then off the back of it, there's just nothing they can do about this fed, fantastically positioned Vayne.
Yeah, and also, there's the fact that LGD reacted so incredibly quickly. The Arcane Shift came over the wall, immediately heal, immediately stand united, everything that could come out to save that Vayne's life. And LGD, they have been known for their ability to coordinate that well, but look, that was just fantastic.
Yeah, it helps that the Shen is the Korean. He's probably only listening to Imp's voice this game.
It's a decent point. Imp can just yell at him.
I'm not convinced that it's a language barrier when the dude that you're ulting speaks the same language as you. But, you know, I've also played League of Legends with you, and we struggle with communication sometimes. We don't speak a version of English.
Yeah, a version of English. It's an interesting one. I think it's Australian, but even then, I think it's a different dialect.
Yeah, you just annoyed so many Australians when you said that.
They understand. It's endearing.
Or they
well, he's going to headbutt
anyway.
Pulverize some people here as Condi's going to stick to him, but QIAO not going down anytime soon. Phantom Dancer completed by Imp as he makes his way towards the fight. Xiaoxi is here to offer some assistance as they put some pressure on this inner turret. Looper, though, is going to be enough to deter them.
And you have to say, after M3 controlling the first 3 major objectives, LGD have hit back with the next 4 and being able to really equalize that.
Very
that was
cute.
cheeky.
That was very cheeky.
have been able to equalize, and now, as the map stands, actually have a fairly good goal defense.
Yeah, Smells going to be able to
take
take
down
down
all of that is Imp as well. Look at his items. PD landed it on King's boots too with only 22 minutes in. As PYL, he's going to have to yell.
Yeah, there's a whole lot coming towards him now as well. Going to get stunned up by the parallel convergence. And look, the ultimate does take down a whole lot of the damage done to you, but when there's 4 people there stunning you and doing despicable things, you are going to fall down.
Yeah, you certainly are. And Condi picks up the kill. Maybe not the beneficiary they were looking for, but M3 regains some semblance of map control. Need to see whether they can push in this mid-tier 1 because it's been up for a long time.
It certainly has. Godby not going to get Essence fluxed this time.
I wish we could pause the minimap right now because this is something that LGD do exceptionally well. You see the lane control they had in the top lane. That's a mobile phone.
Thanks, Spawn.
And a knee.
Yeah.
So you see the lane control that Acorn just had to deal with, and sorry, Looper just had to deal with, and then you look at all the pressure that Acorn just made on the bottom side of the map, and you think, big deal, what does that mean? Well, PYL just fell down, and there was absolutely nothing M3 could take because of where the top and bottom sideways were positioned on the map. They couldn't create any pressure through minion waves to maybe drag a member away. So they're just sieging into this brick wall of a Victor who has 40% CDR already. And because of the side wave control, they just can't secure an objective off it. So you killed a support player, nothing else happens.
Yep. PYL able to come back and continue clearing out vision as well. You saw him actually blind juking away from 2 people at once and didn't get hit by anything. Beautiful work, PYL. He did learn from his previous mistake. Transfer power coming over the top has got to be looking to try and take that one down. True Shot Barrage going to find Jiashi, but not going to be able to get himself a blue.
And I wonder what variant of the build Dade will go from here. Will he go towards the wave clear poke heavy Condi? You're in no man's land.
Yeah, Love City coming around as well, though. PYL's going to get stunned up. There's the playback box, comes down. The Cow in a whole bunch of trouble. Does have the Unbreakable Will. Could flash away if he wanted to, but with 5 members here,
Shen's on the bottom side of the map. Sure, he has ultimate available, but they might be able to start up Baron here. Looper doesn't take much damage from it. Condi chunked out, won't be able to do it.
No, not this time. 24 minutes into the game as well. I guess they do have a whole lot of extra damage.
3 smites in a rend.
Yeah, 3 smites in a rend probably going to be enough. But Jiashi is going to be able to find a pink ward here. Multiple pinks actually around this Baron area for M3. They were probably considering going towards that buff fairly early on this game, but
that's a brave Evelyn. I hate that feeling as a jungler, having to auto-attack a pink ward 5 times.
Oh, yeah.
Some junglers that have an auto reset, you're like, okay, I can do this. Don't worry about it. But
yeah,
Evelyn?
Shyvana, that's why I only play Shyvana in the jungle.
Very hard.
Yeah, very, very difficult. Of course, just start building Sated Devourer now, man.
On Evelyn?
Yeah.
It doesn't give you an auto reset.
You can build it on any. No, well, it's just the fact that you attack really fast. Well, Dade is going to find Dade here. It's the Arcane Shift is going to get him to safety. Godby just going to zap some more creeps at the same time as PYL is going to find another pink ward.
Godby gets rotations of spells out ridiculously quickly with this build. And credit to him because they're also very much on point at the moment.
Yeah. Able just to Death Ray all of the time with 40% CDR at this point. Does have the 3rd item in the Void Staff as well. See what he does decide to go for as his next one. Parallel Convergence was down. Jiashi unseen here in the mid lane. True Shot Barrage going to find Godby. So much damage here from this. Rabbidan's Death Cap.
So it was a Rabbidan's next, so not going for the Luden's Echo for the increase.
Boots.
Poke? Yeah. Boots. What are they? What are even boots?
Little round bags. Well, this is going to be a very easily taken dragon here for M3. Probably all start smiting it at about half health and then press a Ren button and it'll die. So that one's going to be easily locked down. Only the second here for M3 though, as INVICTUS just clearing out the mid lane and LGD moving now towards blue buff. Yeah, the blue buff. I'm going to be able to grab that one. Vision available for M3.
There. Looper can teleport if he wants to.
True Shot Barrage. Grabs it.
Yeah, doesn't even need to burn the teleport. And
stone-faced. Yep. Yeah, I just got that blue buff. Don't worry, guys.
Maybe he doesn't know.
Have a feel. Probably does.
I was trying to think of something. Yeah. Of course, Dade is renowned for that look as well. Dade and Pawn, my 2 favorite players to watch when they do something. Godby quickly becoming one of my favorite players because he only smiles when he checks damage done.
Yep. Or after he's finished battle crying into the microphone to his teammates.
Sorry, I forgot about the battle cry.
Yeah, that happened as well. But 300 gold lead now. Condi going to take the rotation from Imp. Nice use of the Condemn to proc the Silver Bolts. Does a lot of damage to the Echo. Not a lot of armor on this M3 squad just yet, apart from that Randuin's for Lupa, but not in an AoE sense just yet as well. Apart from the slow.
Only really Imp is going to be doing physical damage there, so you can understand why they're going for the Locket of the Iron Solari over something maybe, but teleport coming through, Baron's going to be the objective.
Yeah, LGD actually going to use the teleport very early on. Trusha Barrage does come through here as LGD might need to peel off. It's down to about 1,500 health. Is going to be locked down by Xiaoxi.
Where does the fight go?
Yeah, LGD, they're looking for a parallel convergence. Only going to stun POL. Stand United onto the cow, in fact. There's the Pulverize on top. So much AoE. Look at Godby's damage. In flashes over the wall. Uses the Blade of the Ruined King. Not enough just yet, but Condi, he's going to die as well, and that was all about Godby. So much damage from this Victor. Well, there's the chrono break.
How do you get out?
He's looking to try and get out of here. Death Ray, just the tip. No, not going to happen.
Xiaoxi flashes the wall.
Definitely wants this kill. Godby barons up some minions, blind Death Ray into the brush, and that's going to be the ace.
Yeah, and you see, not very happy about it, but Godby coming up huge in the team fight. And you have to say, Dade also able to snipe Imp. Let's take another look at it. Good taunt here, stops Lupa from diving in. Xiaoxi is very low at the start of the fight. Imp's really goes berserk here, you know, he gets a lot of auto attacks through, chunks out Lupa. But then Dade on the back end of it is just able to land so much damage with SMLZ. Hiding back, seeing what he can get done, throws the Q out. Condi picks up the shutdown, and from there, it's just all about Godby. He created the big zone, and that was the only positive things that came through for M3. And we can just talk about how Godby was able to use multiple rotations without spells, knock people out, and just pick up a clean team fight.
Revolting. Godby able to get that death ray across about 3 people, and you can see with that perfect hex core now completed, lots of AP per level, and Godby's got a lot of those levels at the moment.
Certainly does, and moves his score up to 4-0 and 4, picking up exactly where he left off yesterday. And M3 going from this fantastic early game where they were able to pick up multiple objectives, we keep talking about it, into what is a mid-game slump. And once again, you look and Dade is like, guys, I can't do much more. My positioning has been pretty good this game. I haven't got boots yet, and I'm just trusting myself to be able to stay in the right areas. But when there's a 6-1-4 Vayne and a 4-0-4 Victor now running around the Rift, this late game is going to be incredibly difficult.
Yeah, and I'm really proud of Xiaoxi as well. Able to keep farming his jungle, and he's against 3 smites where it could have been very, very difficult for the jungler of LGD to stay in this game. Especially when he's a sub.
Being able to do so, 2-0 and 6, you know, they've put more faith. Wow.
Yeah, speaking of faith and into Stand United's on top of the Evelyn, trying to mix it up here. Condi super low, hasn't died just yet as Godby's going to finally take him down. Lupa now trying to get in amongst it. Dade pops over the wall, grabs him. Easy as you like. PYL now trying to get some work done, but LGD still in control, but it's a 1-for-1, and Dade keeps picking them off. Acorn finds his way back in, but that's a death sentence. Not quite the way he'd want to make his way into a fight. SMLZ looking to try and get in here. Essence Flux, True Shot Barrage, not going to get him. And Godby and Xiaoxi and Acorn limp away from the fight.
And now Dade wishes he had boots. Not able to find anyone, but able to pick up 2 kills. He's still going.
Oh, that was blind. So incredible close. Godby misses that one. Is he going to be able to get the kill? No, Dade grabs it back. What the heck?
Triple kill in the end picked up for Dade. Godby maybe with the first display of emotion. I think there was a lip fight in there,
yeah,
so let's take another look here. Dade on the back end. Condi gets picked up relatively early in this fight. He's in no man's land, not able to get anything done, but Dade hops over the wall onto him, picks him up, immediately flashes back to not get chain CC'd. Great lantern from Lupa here keeps him alive, and then Dade with the, not even brown bag, he's got no boots, just able to pick up max range snipe, continues to chase through as Acorn also gets tied up. He doesn't go down here, but in the end, Dade also grabs Godby in a great 1v1 duel.
But it's the dodges from Godby as well. I mean, that was blind into the brush. Godby just moving around exactly right, and just watch it. Dodging out of the first one, dodges out of the second one, then thinks that he can grab the kill, but he would have been on about 1 health, and then Dangerous Game saves him completely.
Yeah, shut down. 500 gold goes over to the AP carry. Now he has some boots, has a Void Staff as well, and Dragon number 3 started up.
Yeah, Dade continuing to be a menace here.
He's doing some real damage right now as well.
Yeah, Void Staff completed for Dade. That is a massive amount of AP for this Ezreal.
And you can see he just committed for the late game build. Doesn't go for the mid game spike that Luden's Echo gives you. This is an unbridged AP Ezreal. I mean, there's no items for the mid game specifically. Morellonomicon, Luden's Echo, all these mid game centric items that are supposed to come through the weak spot. I mean, he didn't even go Boots 2 that give you a fantastic mid game spike.
Yeah.
He just committed fully to the late game, and it's coming up huge.
The really scary thing about this as well is the fact that this particular iteration of Ezreal is actually better now in 5.13.
Yeah.
Because Luden's Echo isn't actually in the build, and that was what we sort of changed to stop it being so...
Wave,
yeah.
So strange reason before gutting it.
Well, we'll see whether, you know, when LPL does get to 5.3, what's going to happen. Whether they're going to skip it completely. Of course, LPL does do that sometimes. You don't see some of the patches. Can be interesting.
This iteration...
Oh, there's the final hour. If not going to find any of the skill shots from Dade, continues to dodge them. There's the Stand United actually on top of him here. And yeah, has to be very, very careful. Xiaoxi tries to find his way and gets death sentence though. And Dade doing so much work. Love City picks up the kill in the end. Looper, he's going to dive in and die around the backside. Godby death raying his way through here. Acorn shields up Condi. The Chaos Crucible is going to save him for now as the gravity field sucks him in. SMLZ tries to make his way into the fight.
That was another time that LGD, however, committed to a team fight in a choke with really good choke control. If Lupa hadn't gone berserk on the backline there, created a nice zone for himself but wasn't able to survive for long enough, you think that that team fight might have gone very differently.
Yeah, and we're talking about sort of zone control, and I'm looking at both of these squads, and there's a lot of sort of zoning options for both teams. I mean, you've got the, I mean, the gravity field from Godby is one of them. Chaos Storm's there as well. I mean, if he manages to get them down in the right positions, not to mention Acorn funneling people into taunt range for multiple taunts, that's an option for LGD. But you're right. I mean, both of these teams look like they want to be doing similar things.
Yeah, it really is the Box and the Echo that will team up on the side of M3. Yeah, exactly right. And then you look at over the other side, they've got Victor, which is the other half of the Venn diagram we generally speak of, but they've also got things like Shen and Evelyn that create these areas that you can't go near as a Squishy champion. But Baron started up.
Yeah, started up here by 3 smites and a Ren. LGD looking to come through here, but Godby's nowhere to be seen. Dade finds his way into the fight, and I'm interested to see as to why M3 didn't try and start that one up. They had the advantage.
Love CD was definitely too low. If Lupa had have started tanking out that objective at the start, wouldn't have lost much health. But important teamfight ultimate at this stage, you know, great for trimming waves, but much more important to shoot into champions' heads. Expended from Dade.
Dade just going to use it to clear out that wave. Didn't actually use it at all to trim any side waves, just destroying the mid, making sure that that one resets, which it's going to. Imp heading towards the top side of the map. Lots of red dots for LGD.
Double teleport advantage available for LGD. They've got the Stand United and the TP coming through from Shen, so they're very comfortable sending him towards the bottom side of the map.
Spawn.
Hello.
Godby's built a Hextech revolver. He's got 40% CDR.
Gunblade.
Is it a Gunblade?
Yep.
Oh my goodness. I knew I loved this player, but I didn't realize quite how much until right now. That's another AP ratio. He doesn't want to get to a point, right?
Where he can't
do enough buttons
I
to
knew
Dade.
you were going to say that.
He's got another one now. Oh, True Shot Barrage. Looking for Godby, doesn't find him.
Flank coming through from Xiaoxi.
Yeah,
they have the ultimate as well on Acorn.
Oh, Shashi actually going to get spotted by the pink ward. There's the Fate's Call, actually. Shashi going to get spotted out by the scrying orb.
They commit.
Yeah, they're looking for the fight here. POL makes his way in, has popped the ultimate as well. Imp forced to use the flash to get out of the way of everyone. Condi trying to get onto the Bane, but he hasn't been able to just yet. Love City over the wall now. No Fate's Call to get him back in. Look at the death ray damage, doing some work, but Dade with so much poke. POL gets a multi-knock-up. Look at the Chaos Storm as Looper's going to get locked down at the same time. Everyone in LGD so incredibly low. Acorn still tanky. Godby locks down 2 kills already. Dade's dead. SMLZ at full health. Godby flashes forward. Condi not going to die by that transport power. Oh my goodness, the phase dive. Almost getting him out. SMLZ the only member with any HP at all. And the teleport coming through from Acorn as well. Shashi is actually stealthed now. He's
just gonna get out.
Yeah, they're looking for someone, but Shashi can't do enough.
And SMLZ completely untouched on the backline there, but there's just too much presence, not able to go for it. In the end, this is going to be a Baron started up for LGD. SMLZ will spot it, but there's nothing they can do.
Yeah, Looper doesn't have the teleport here either. LGD just with so much damage onto this Baron as Imp, of course, able to get so much work done. You can see Looper now making his way in. Hello, Convergence. I feel like we just stepped back in time for a moment.
That was
fantastic.
Echo. Oh, 3 seconds.
Big button. Ah, right. Okay, yeah, that was really cute. Okay.
And, yeah.
Yeah, got
I'm so disappointed right now. I
no,
thought that was a beautiful explanation for it.
I went for the more subtle version of exactly the same move, and I feel like we just doubled up.
And they just beat our audience over the head with both.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, great. Will of the Ancients is actually picked up though, as Godby's going to sell his boots. He wants to grab the sock shoe.
Now I'm sad as well.
I'm really sad. So disappointed. My goodness.
Not mad.
Go M3. M3, speaking of which, are going to be able to try and lock down their 4th Dragon, but SMLZ is going to get knocked up. PWL does have the Unbreakable Will, has popped it now as well, but look at the damage coming out of M3 over the wall. Dade makes his way in. Echo's going to lock down the Dragon. PWL very low. Looper's going to die though, and Imp is just doing so much damage, and Godby's ripping people apart.
Yeah, Imp is unkillable right now. He just has so many tools to be able to keep himself alive. Throw a Shen ultimate on top of it, as well as the Mikhails, and he's just not going down in time. And once again, LGD win the team fight.
Yeah, this is my favorite Vayne build as well. He's now going for that Bloodthirster for the double lifesteal, and already is going towards that Banshee's Veil. So things just looking like this Vayne is going to be very, very healthy as this game moves on. And with the double attack speed items already, just tearing people to shreds.
Certainly is. And moving in now on the Nexus turret. Still 2 members up. They need to be careful, but they want to end.
Yeah, Love City is up in another 5 seconds. Acorn's going to get the snap. Oh my goodness, PWL locks down the kill. Actually, my goodness, Godby's there with that one. SMLZ, gravity fielded in. It just looks like a shockwave. I'm ready to talk about it when Godby throws down that W, but the Nexus, it's going to fall. LGD locking down game 1 against M3 in commanding fashion towards the end there.
Yeah, it certainly was. Really well played later part of the game from LGD. Yeah. Secured double Barons for themselves, played the map phenomenally, and used the Evelyn Shen combo to just start up every team fight they wanted. Take a look at Imp. He had an absolute curler.
Yeah, fantastic game
coming